The head of state has received a delegation from the World Bank. International scene Taliban Americans official leave Moscow on a positive note. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margeli, has received today, Thursday morning at the Presidential Palace, the new Regional Director of the World Bank, Ms. Marina Weiss. This hearing has the value of the first contact with the President of Djibouti for Ms. Marina Weiss, who was appointed to his post a month earlier. The state of cooperation between our country and the World Bank has been at the heart of the talks. The discussions were then extended to partnership between the two parties in the specific areas of achieving quality education, health for all, and job creation. The audience also served as a framework for the World Bank's support to the Republic of Djibouti in the much debate process of diversifying its economy, particularly in terms of tourism development. The Minister of Economy and Finance responsible for industry, Ilyas Musa Dawale, took part in this meeting. Note also the presence of the hearing, at this hearing, of the Secretary General of the Presidency, Mr. Mohamed Abdullahi Waisa. For her part, the regional directors pointed out in an interview with the Djibouti television that side took advantage of this audience to reiterate to the head of state the availability of the head of state, the availability of the World Bank to provide all its support to the Republic of Djibouti.
A very good discussion with the President, talking about the potential for job creation, for growth in Djibouti. We also spoke about some of the recent progresses that have been made, including the incredible increase that Djibouti has made on the World Bank's Doing Business rankings. We are also very close to declaring effectiveness on a project, the Zero Urban Slums project, which is a priority for both the President as well as for the World Bank. Going forward, we spoke about the need to focus more on human capital development and to see what opportunities the digital economy can offer Djibouti.
For his part, the Minister of Finance and Economy, Ilyas Musa Dawale, who attended this hearing, has rejoined himself of the interest of the World Bank to their countries. Our partnership with the World Bank will be expanded in several key sectors such as education and infrastructure, he said. As part of the preparations of the 32nd ordinary sessions of the African Union Summit, His Excellency the Minister of Foreign Affairs for International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, attended the 43rd ordinary sessions of the Executive Council in Addis Ababa, seat of the African Union. The Minister was accompanied by strong delegations, including His Excellency the Ambassador of Djibouti in Ethiopia, Mr. Muhammad Idris Farah, the Director of Cooperation, Ms. Muna Yunus Hosh, and Mr. Musa Ali Mohammed, Advisor to the regional organizations. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud, has chaired on Wednesday afternoon an official launching ceremony of the drafting curricula of textbook of basic education at the CFE. The meeting was attended by senior officials and officials of the MENFOP, starting with the Secretary General, the Executive Secretary, the Inspector General, but also the Director General of Education and Administration and GRIPEN. In a participation approach, the MENFOP mobilized the educational community and especially the parents of students alongside the school heads to to be informed and associated with this project, which will be implemented by the Crippen Curriculum Writing Commissioner, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud, has delivered an important speech in which he recalled that this revision of the curricula is the expressions of the need expansions from the national consultation and the proceeding of the conference, and that takes root in the expressions of the educational community. The studies carried out by international experts, the diagnosis of the financial partner, but also the diagnosis of the curriculum, as well as the needs to adapt our content to the digital revolutions and socio-cultural evolutions, he said in substance. For his part, the Minister of National Education, Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud, has delivered an important speech. We gathered this afternoon the whole educational family, teacher, inspector, and MERFOP and parents to emphasize this review of the curricula, which is the expression of a need emanating from the national consultations and the proceeding of the conference, which is rooted in the expressions of the educational community. The studies carried out by the international expert, the diagnosis, the financial partners, but also the diagnosis of the curricula, as well as the needs to adapt our contents to the digital revolutions and socio-cultural evolutions. We have Inspector Abdul Karim Ahmed Hersi, English Inspector of the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training. Welcome, Mr. Abdul Karim.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Thanks for giving me this very important time.
Can you give us more details about the purpose of this meeting took with the ministers?
This important meeting organized by the Minister of Education, His Excellency Mr. Mustafa Muhammad Mohammed, was aimed, for launching the curriculum review, and a lot of people came and participated. That means the stakeholders of the tuition education. We had, a parents association who participated, curriculum designers, directors and principals of the schools, as well as the inspectors of the education. All, came together to witness the important event, and it was a success story, really.
And is this a new reform of education?
Well, this is not, a whole new set of curriculum. It's rather upgrading and upscaling the all existing curriculum of Djibouti. A lot of analysis has been made. As you know, the education system of Djibouti, is starting from 2000 in the national dialogue. We had certain goals, and that goals have been reached. For example, it was aimed, to make the education of Djibouti tuition education. That means conducting tuition textbooks, writing a curriculum, and all of this, has been achieved. So now we are going to upscale and upgrade, and also remediate areas that needed to be upgraded.
And what are your expectations from this text?
Really, this expectation is too high. For example, in this new, curriculum review, we are, injecting the 21st century skills, life skills, which is very important for every student. And as you know now, globalization, the competition is too high. So every country wants to, equip its students up to that level. And Djibouti, under the leadership of Ismail Umrugile, we are on track. And we are also adding, ICT, information communication technology, in early age already, tablets in primary school, laptops in, high school. And in addition of that, we will have more additional program, for example, including the English, which will be started in grade 3. So the expectation is too high.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Karim Ahmed Idris. I recall that Mr. Inspector Abdul Karim Ahmed recall is the English inspector from the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training. Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome.
And the project investing in the human capital was the theme of this workshop that opened earlier this morning at the People's Palace. This workshop organized by the Ministry of Finance in close collaboration with the World Bank. Listen to the report.
The project investing in human capital was the theme of this workshop that opened early this morning at the People's Palace. This workshop organized by the Ministry of Finance in close collaboration with the World Bank. The goal of the Human Capital Project is to accelerate the delivery of high-quality investment in the population, thereby promoting equity and economic growth. In other words, building in a better world for the future generation requires an investment of the human. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawali, has short speech underlines the importance of placing the human at the heart of the development of the country. Investing in the human resource, he said, is a guarantee of growth in human solidarity, and by to build a new social contract, we listen to it. The Regional Director of the World Bank for Djibouti, Egypt and Yemen, Mrs. Marina West, spoken.
Djibouti is a young country with a lot of potential. But that potential will ultimately only be materialized if jobs can be created, if quality jobs can be created for the young people of Djibouti. I think you've made a lot of progress. You've focused a lot on doing business, for instance. But skills, including digital skills, are a critical part of really finding ways to fully utilize the potential that Djibouti has and to offer as many opportunities for young people in Djibouti.
This important meeting saw the participation of the Minister of National Education, the Secretary of State for Social Affairs and Housing, the Minister of Health, the Mayor of the capital, and the senior executives of institutions concerned. By far, by this them, all aware of the potential of the Republic as a human capital, a large, mostly young population, is a lever to stimulate growth.
Djibouti participated in the first cultural and artistic festival of the Organizations of Islamic Cooperation in Cairo at the invitations of the Secretary General of the Organizations of Islamic Cooperation. The Minister of Muslim Affairs and Culture, Momin Hassan Barre, took part in the first editions of the Cultural and Artistic Festival held in Cairo from February 5 to 9 under the theme of Nation and Diverse Cultures, Palestine in the Heart. The Minister of Culture, Momin Hassan Barre, is accompanied by a strong delegation, including a Djiboutian troupe who will present folkloric shows reflecting the richness of the Djiboutian cultural heritage. The inaugural ceremony of the festival took place at the Grand Opera Theatres in the Egyptian capital, with the participation of some 20 Muslim countries. A series of cultural and artistic events will be organized on this occasion, aimed at overcoming the cultural barriers between the member states. The preliminary result workshop held today, February 7, 2019, at the Sheraton Hotel is organized by the Ministry of Women and Family and brought together about 15 participants from the government agencies of the United Nations, such as UNFPA, private sector and civil society, who are involved in the development of these studies with funding from the African Development Bank. The purpose of this workshop was to present initial finding, validate the data, provide additional information, foster debate and on key issue, and explain next steps. For part, the consultants Ms. Nouro Rizoa Simons Rabazani indicate that the promotion of gender is considered as one of the special areas of interest that is transversal in the strategy of the bank 2013-2022. In her speech, the Minister of Women and Family, Ms. Moumina Ahmed Hassan, has stressed the importance of studies in the planning of the government and partners in order to have basic data and to be able to project itself in the future. As part of the fight against counterfeit taxes and customs stamp, the Directorate General of Customs says that in the day of February, the gendarmes of the North Djibouti Brigade carried out investigations on containers suspected of containing dubious goods. This is indeed 20-foot containers from an Asian country deposited in the closures of the free zone before its delivery to the neighboring country. After verification, it's determined that the goods inside these containers belong to foreign businessmen who illegally used the name of a local transit company to facilitate the administrative process of importing the goods. During the investigations, the gendarmes get their hands over the foreign trade who remotely followed the movement of these containers. In the constant presence of the suspicious persons, the agents of customs and the gendarmes opened the containers. They discovered 33 experience numbers manuscript concealed behind carbons of the white sheet packaged differently than those of the ordinary ones. The Minister of Health, in collaboration with the Foundation's High to Housings of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mamagele, proceeded yesterday morning the inaugurations of the community health centers of Nasib Head at Pika 12. The ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Health, Dr. Jamal Al-Mewkiye, was attended by the Director General of the Foundation, Right to Housing, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Usman, the Secretary General of the Acting Secretary General of the Minister, Ni'ma Musa Ali, officials of the Ministry of Health, as well as the inhabitants of the Nasib district who came in large numbers. Their housings attribute in the head of state to the victims of Barbara. These cities also include basic schools and police station now opened at health center. The inaugurations of these centers respond to the government's concern to facilitate access to community care, but also with a view of to improving the health of the peoples of the Republic of Djibouti. As part of the vast infrastructure modernizations and national financial architecture, the Central Bank of Djibouti has organized this morning the official launch, the establishment of the national payment system with the support of the World Bank. Listen to the report.
Part of the vast infrastructure modernization national financial architecture, the Central Bank of Djibouti this morning officially launched the establishment of the national system of payment with the support of the World Bank. The local partners, in this case ANPI and INCIE, also took part in the official launching ceremony of the new national payment system to be carried out by American Monton in collaboration with their local partner in Hypercube Company. By signing the contract, the Central Bank of Djibouti will acquire a real-time large amount payment system. The latter will provide real-time interbank settlement of large amounts. Thus, the director of INCIE, Mustafa Mohammed Ismail, recalled that these partners will enhance the cooperation of two institutions. For his part, the director of INPE, Mahdi Darar Opsie, also thanked the American company for its collaboration and said that this system will contribute to the development of the country. The new national payment system will further strengthen the economic and financial through financial transaction. In a word on this occasion, the governor of the bank, Mr. Ahmed Osman Ali, mentioned that this payment system will cross an important milestone and will contribute to the development of the country. This initiative is part of a large program of reform undertaken by the Central Bank for the benefits of the financial system. In an interview that he gives us, the head of the company Hypercube and American merchant Dr. Idris Ismail Auled and Ibrahim Traore have recalled that they will work closely with the Central Bank.
The United Regions of Dakhil has hosted this Wednesday, February 6, inauguration ceremony of the regional agency of Salam Africa Bank. This inauguration ceremony was held under the auspices of the Minister of Housing, Urbanism and the Environment, Musa Mohammed Ahmed, and the chairman of the board of Salam African Bank, Mr. Ali Abdullahi Hatin, accompanied by the senior executive of this institution, including the general managers of the bank institution. Also participating in this inauguration ceremony were the representative of the governors of the central bank, Mr. Harun Auled, the prefect of the Dakhil region, Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Hassan, the vice president of the regional council, Mr. Ebo Mohammed Ebo, the regional parliamentarian, local elected officials, the centralized service heads, customary chief, and the religious of the region, as well as the different terms of civil society. From now on, a bank is installed in the region. For his part, the prefect of the region, the minister of Housing, Mr. Musa Mohammed Ahmed, he say from now on a bank is installed in the regions, on the United Regions of Dakhil. The absence of banking institutions was a big handicap for the Dakhil people, and the inaugurations of this agency was very well received by the population. The inauguration ceremony of the Salam Bank agency was chaired by the Minister of Housing, Mr. Musa Mohammed Ahmed, the minister of the region, who was pleased with the opening, which will boost the activities in the regions of this united thanks to the services offered. Mr. Dahir Abdullahi Musa, inspectors of the finance of exceptional classes, Chevron second echelons of the Corps of Inspections of the Finances in service to the Ministry of Budget as a technical advisor to the Minister of the Budget, made the soles in the day of Tuesday, February 5, these native sons born on July 23 in Djibouti was a state official for 35 years, working his whole life for his mortal principles, precepts and ideals. Writers Simmons Bonds. He was, among others, during his lifetimes, a man of conviction, full of wisdom and philosophy. Moreover, in addition to his irrepressible ethics, Dahir Abdullahi Musa was a spiritual and intellectual, and a current, ahead, a passionate, and a literaturous pens and patience, dedicate, authentic beings. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For international scene, Taliban and Afghan leaders leave Moscow on a satisfactory. Taliban and opposition representative in the Afghan government were of the Wednesday, after 2 days of talks in Moscow, agreeing on a joint statement. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.